All right, everybody, we are live. Check, check. It is 2:45 a.m. Eastern, about 8:45 here in the morning in Sweden. And we are going to trade the London session today live for the first time on the Owings Trading Futures channel. And we're going to do that because the market is finally breaking down, as we've been talking about for the last week and a half, expecting this. So don't want to miss any good potential opportunities here during the London session. We're going to focus primarily on the indices and the bonds, a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, some copper, and some platinum. So those will be the main markets we focus on during this section. And of course, during the New York session, we focus on all the major futures markets. But right now, it'll be limited to those markets that can really get going during London. So I'm not going to talk too much about what we are expecting because we've been going over that the last few days in the New York live stream and the pre-market videos. But suffice it to say, we're looking for these markets to continue to drop. Bonds should continue to drop on the back of higher rates. Gold, silver, copper, platinum should continue to drop. So we'll be looking to take advantage of all of those today. And what we can see here on the main screen, you've got the hourly chart to the left and the 15-minute chart here. We've got the futures markets over here. So we're just looking for good hourly patterns, and then we use the 15-minute for confirmation. We're using Owings market analysis, and it works. So we patiently wait for our setups and look for some good trades. All right, so what we can see heading into the 3 a.m. hour, which is really when London typically gets going. Unfortunately, I missed a bond short at 2 a.m. Eastern. You can see here, just kind of the way the last few days have gone. This is just a perfect short there on the hourly for the ultra bonds. But now we're probably breaking out to the downside here with the ultra bonds. But we'll wait for a little bit of a pop. We're not going to chase. We'll see what happens. But if we can get a pop, that'd be nice to get short into. That's the ultra bonds. Looking at the 30-year, it's going to be pretty similar here. Yeah, just looking for... these are the types of pops we want right here. So when those happen, we short. I was asleep here at 2 a.m., which was 8 a.m. my time, because we had the snow plow clearing the road all night. We got a lot of snow. So, yeah, we live on the main road heading up to the second biggest hospital in Sweden. So you have to keep that road clean during the snowstorm. So yours truly didn't get to sleep so much, but that's life. All right, let's look at gold. Bonds, I don't see anything coming for the... Okay, so gold here. I mean, this would just be fantastic if we could get some sort of a little pump in gold that we can get short. Kind of have to be up near 2040-ish. Maybe even a little higher would be fantastic. So we'll kind of wait and see if we can get a pump for gold to short up higher. Looking at silver here. Kind of the same things, just waiting for, I mean, silver, when silver drops, it drops. So this will be one of our favorites, like it always is. Made a lot of money on silver on the channel a few weeks ago. That was some really, actually before the new year. I uploaded those videos, I think. Maybe I didn't, I'm not sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're live streaming now. We got the coffee going, and yeah, silver. Nice hourly downtrend. Probably just going to continue to drop here. Big exhaust here during London. Kind of tempted to go short here. I'll let you know. Look at copper. Copper's kind of... There you go. Yeah, my charts were loading. I was like, copper's kind of lagging. No, it's not. Copper's finally joining the party. Everything's breaking down. So we're going to have to... take advantage of this, which is why I normally don't trade London, but today is a good day to do so. Here's platinum. Yeah, so I think for 8 a.m., sorry, I'm so used to New York, for the 3 a.m. London check when we get open here, if silver were to pull back up here a little bit higher, that'd be nice. Waiting for that. Because you got to be careful chasing, you guys. I mean, the good news about London is you can catch these moves early. So we'll see how this goes. And I may start streaming London as well, because New York's been, for me, quiet the last 4 or 5 days. 5-6 days. And yours truly needs to earn some money and buy some bread. So London, typically the early bird gets the worm with London when these things really start moving. And then by the time you get to New York, you know, it's consolidating London's move. You never really know what's going to happen, but I think maybe trading both sessions is a better idea. So perhaps we'll start doing that. We'll see how this goes today. Again, just going to follow our plan and wait patiently. Got about 9 minutes till the 3 a.m. check. Again, that's when the Frankfurt Stock Exchange opens, which is my time, 9 a.m., I believe. Check me on that. I don't trade the Frankfurt Stock Exchange in Germany, but I think so. Like the DAX and all that opens at basically 3 a.m. Eastern, which is 9 a.m. My time and German time in the same time zone. And then the FTSE also opens, I believe, at that time, which is 8 a.m. in London. They're an hour behind me. So anyways, that's kind of, you know, usually when London really gets going. So ES here, we got to ask ourselves, we're trending down. I think we're going to see some pretty good drops the rest of the week on the back of higher rates from yesterday from Waller, which is fantastic. I made a little bit of money shorting into the close yesterday. That was nice. Got a piece of that after the live stream. Not much happened while we were streaming during New York, but that's the way it goes. And now with the 3 a.m. check, you see the hourly chart here on ES. You know, it looks weak, but again, got to get some sort of a pullback. Silver is one that I'm considering for the 3 a.m. NASDAQ just leaking lower. Beautiful. The Dow. Let's see the NASDAQ here, because the NASDAQ, we've got a really nice break. Oh yeah, we're breaking through a key level here on the NASDAQ. Probably going to head down. Next stop, 16,760. Russell, I've been calling for extreme weakness the last several days, and you can see that that's so far playing out nicely. That was what I traded yesterday afternoon. The 10-year, you know, look at the 30-year here. And so really, I think for the 3 a.m. check, it's kind of coming down to silver here. I'd like it to pop a little bit higher. You know, you can get some good volatility at the open here at 3 a.m. So we got to be ready because, you know, for example, silver is one. It doesn't look too overextended right now. Looks like we could have a long way to go. And when this hourly bar closes here, we could have a nice pop up into the 23 area on a 15-minute chart. So I'm going to definitely keep an eye on that. If you were to look at, let's say, the NASDAQ and look at what we've got here, say, okay, well, is there anywhere we'd like to, you know, the NASDAQ, it's dropping, but it could drop a lot further. We're right at yesterday's lows right now. You know, but when London opens here in a few minutes, we got to ask ourselves the same strategy we employ at the U.S. stock market open at 9:30. Is there anywhere up in here that's you know, looking like it might be a good short on some opening volatility for Frankfurt and London? Certainly 16,860 could see this level here. It could see a pump up there, and then market continues to trend down like that. So I think that's probably what I'll keep an eye on at the open here. You're breaking through some key levels here at 16,840. So if we were to pop back up and through there at about 16,860, potentially look to get short. We'll see for that. Getting DOMs all ready to go here. And we've got it's about a 1 tick spread, sometimes 2. So you guys trading the CFDs, if you can get 3 points during London, you're not doing too bad. 3 tick spread on the NASDAQ. Oh no, you guys, yeah, that's right. You guys do point spreads, I believe, on CFDs, right? That's on futures. We're doing ticks here, so very tight spread even during London. All right, so it's going to open here in a moment. I'm just going to grab some water. All right, we got our water, ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to keep a close eye. Should be some good volatility at the open here. I'm going to keep an eye on that 16,860-ish level to see if the 15-minute here, if we get a big pop up into 16,860 here in the next few minutes heading into the open, I might short that. I'll let you know. That would be an official channel trade if that does happen. Just because we have some nice hourly resistance up in there. Nice 15-minute resistance, and this is just a, you know, sure, these lows could hold and we go all the way back toward the highs. That could happen, but got to take advantage of a chance to get short here, even if it means taking a little bit of risk. Silver's pushing back up. That's another one on my list. 2287. I'd like us to push a little higher. Keep our eyes on the NASDAQ. Fill the coffee, but not now. Market's going to open in 2 minutes. Click on over to ES here. A lot of resistance there up into 47.82. Flipping back over the NASDAQ. Be great if we can get up in 860. And if this closes here, I'll be looking for the next 15-minute bar to push up here. And this is where I'd have to try and get short up in here. All right, we've got 45 seconds. A little bit of a headache today. Gonna have to take a Tylenol. Lack of sleep. But the bread must be earned. Family is off to preschool. We've got 30 seconds here. $15 seconds. $5 seconds. And London is open. Boom. All right, so waiting to see if we got a little bit of a squeeze up in here, kind of a 2-bar push up into that hourly resistance level there. What I'd be looking for, that's about 16,865 on the NASDAQ, so keep an eye on that. Flip over to ES here. Yeah, there's your pullback on the 15-minute. There could be some resistance here, but ES, you've got a lot of nice resistance at 47.82. On that level. You know, it might drop without us, but I got to pick my spot where the stop, the risk reward makes the most sense. Let's go ahead and just quickly check in on the Ultra bonds. I'm just waiting for a little bit of a pop. Gold here. Could be a pretty nice exhaust for gold right there. Quite tempted. Won't. Some reason not to, although I it may not be a bad spot to short. Gonna wait, get a little bit of a better entry higher. Now, gold can be nasty. Sometimes too many people short, it can push back up here. So I'll keep an eye on it, but generally I'm interested gold up, higher up. So I think this pullback here is a trap and shorts might get squeezed. And I don't want to be one of them. So for all you short gold right now, you know, see what happens. We will go back to NASDAQ here. London's kind of relaxing because you don't have as many markets to focus on. And ES, I mean, ES got a little bit of a ES. It's definitely leading the way lower right now. I'll stick to the NASDAQ just because when it moves, it can move. Looking up here into this 865 level. Let's see if the 15-minute can get a bit of a trend run going up. Maybe give us an exhaust up into that level. Try and get short for reversal back down. And the 15-minute will let us know if that resistance level on the hourly is valid, which is why OMA is awesome. All right, so just gonna be right back, refill the coffee, wait for this to set up. All right, back. Coffee. Waiting for a little pop here. Let's take a look at ES. Probably take a cold shower, but gotta wake up a little bit more. ES would just be a beautiful short up into about 47.82-ish if it got up there. Keep an eye on that for sure. NASDAQ 16,865 is what we're looking at. Take a look at bonds. Weren't doing much right now. Let's look at gold again. This could be the pullback for gold. We'll see. Pretty weak right now. Keep an eye on gold as well if we start to get some confirmation that we're dropping here. I just don't have a great level. Might drop, but let's see. Silver. Gotta patiently wait. Nat gas is getting hammered. Crude dropping. Can't hold a bid during a war. That is a problem for crude. I mean, crude could just get smoked if we start heading lower, just because so many longs are going to have to fail. I think that market is just so heavy with war longs. Platinum. Platinum sure is leading the charge lower. Silver and gold likely to follow here. Stay patient. Volume coming in there at the top. Gold. If I get to short, I have my choice between gold and silver. I like silver a lot better. Let's look at ES here. Nice if the indices could just a little bit of a rally. Seeing that at them too heavy. Everything looks heavy. Turn our attention back to gold. Silver. Silver. Here's silver. I'm going to keep an eye on silver. It looks like the indices are not top right. Anything up into here would be a nice place to short silver. Something like this would have been nice. Or like that. I think silver is going to be good for shorting all day long. Gotta let the market come to you. That's the key, the name of the game. Not about the money you make, it's about the money you don't lose. Attribute that, I think, to Larry Pesavento. Right now we are waiting. This will be good. Here's bonds. This is another reason why I'm exercising a little bit of caution right now. is you can see that the ultra bonds are big drop yesterday. I think we're going to continue to drop, but we may just need to pull back a little bit. And if that happens, gold and silver may follow to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. If bonds could set up a good short here for the next hour, that would be fantastic up in here somewhere. Keep an eye on, that's the ultra bond. We'll look at the 30-year here. Take a look at the 10-year. Yesterday, the 10-year gave us some good clues as to what was going on. Now let's just see if the ultra bond can, a little bit of a rally here. ES trying to push higher again. The level we're looking at for ES is about 48.82. Get that exact number. That's where I'm willing to maybe take a short. I'd have to get up there first. Yeah, that's about 48.82. And NASDAQ is 865. What I'm waiting for. Gold and silver bonds just a little bit higher. And this is great. If we could just get a nice pop on ultra bonds and then short the you know what out of it next hour, that would be fantastic. Gotta be careful because you did have some daily support holding yesterday, but I think the monthly and the weekly energy to the downside are just too strong. Ultimately gonna overwhelm that daily support. So that's why we're looking to short. You see, you guys got to really pay attention to the intermarket correlations. I mean, I don't really see a lot of people doing this out there on YouTube, not to the extent that we do it here. Maybe some people look at the dollar while they're trading the NASDAQ, but you got to look at the indices, you got to look at bonds, you got to look at the short end of the curve, the 10-year, the longer, the 30-year, the ultra bond, you got to look at metals, energies a little bit, the dollar's key. And then you got to look at how that's, you know, all interacting, right? And I say all that because right now you've got bonds, you know, the ultra bonds are pushing higher. And if that's the case, and the ultra bonds are going to maybe push back up in here, which would be great because that's kind of where we want to short them. Then you got to be careful if gold is tempting you into a short here because it, you know, pulled back to what could be a resistance level, right? It could hold, but you got to be careful because with bonds pushing higher, you know, gold could follow it higher, silver as well, right? So that's how these intermarket correlations are super important. So for silver here, you know, silver can rock and roll. You can really get going. So with silver, the level I'm looking at now would be up into about 22.98-ish, somewhere up there. We'll see. But the hourly and the 15-minute will, you know, let us know when we're getting close. And copper as well, just absolutely tanking, which is beautiful. Platinum's, I mean, just getting smoked. Called that at the beginning of the month, which is nice. Yeah, so we're just going to patiently wait. Here is silver. So the question is that a little bit of a resistance pattern here? Short silver. I'm not, it's tempting, but I'm not going to because I just don't like, I don't know, it's tempting. I have to think about it. That might be the exhaust pullback for bonds right now, and silver might head lower. Just not nuts about this right here, this hourly. You've got, you know, you sucked up back above quite a bit of support that could see us push higher. So I just have to accept the fact that if it drops without me, it drops without me. It's not really signaling a clear short for me just yet. Here is ES. Hopefully bonds can keep pushing higher and ES can get a bit of a punch. One of these should hit one of our levels where we're interested in taking action. Sometimes patience is just the hardest thing with trading, you guys, especially on a day when you have a really good idea of what's going on. And you still got to be very careful about where you pick your entry, because you don't want to just, if you just get in at a random place because you think the market's dropping, it's, not fun to sit through, large pullbacks on multiple contracts. Which is why I like to pick my spots. But yeah, the NASDAQ could give us a nice little squeeze up here. And it all depends too, how does the 15-minute get up into that hourly resistance, right? I prefer it to exhaust up there. I want to see what's going on in the volume profile as well. Is there volume coming in or not? The Dow, the Russ, the Russ just continues to be super weak, which is awesome. These are kind of tough to trade. Here, you see, it's just, yesterday was just, I was just waiting for a little bit of a pop, never got one. Just kind of, this was the afternoon portion that I took a little bit out of in my own trading. That was nice. But then you see just kind of, just garbage. And then new day opens and now we're just straight down without a single pullback. So at some point we may get a pullback. The Russell is very weak. Got a long way to go on the Russell. Gonna be multiple days of good shorting here. Do the 30-year and the ultras. Yeah, this would be great if the 30-year could just keep pushing higher. That would allow gold and silver to keep pushing higher as well. Ultra bond. Yeah. Gold, silver. It's important, when you're using a lower time period, like the 15-minute or whatever you use. If you do multiple time period analysis, like I suggest, gives you a major edge. You got to be careful to not let the tail wag the dog. What I mean by that is that right here on silver, I looked at this and thought, well, 15-minute is kind of holding at these highs. Do I want to get short? No, because the 15-minute all by itself doesn't matter. It's where is this happening within the context of the hourly, and then of course where's the hourly happening within the context of the daily and the weekly. And in this case, sure, silver can drop without us, but it's just not an area where I see, a spot where I could put a good stop. The stop for me has to be up above 23, so I don't want to chase it down here. If I miss it, I miss it. Silver is a big contract. $25 a tick per contract, $50 a cent. 10 cents on silver is $500. Do I want to have, if I have to have my stop behind 23, I don't want to short here because I'm fearful that I might miss the move down and then I got to go. Because usually, these markets, if you pick a good spot for your stop and you get familiar with how these markets move, you'll see that oftentimes where you're thinking your stop should be, that's actually where you should wait to enter. I think Dr. David Paul, may he rest in peace, talked about that. Kind of waiting, you guys, waiting for a little bit of a pop, drinking our coffee, trying to wake up. Hopefully we can make some money here during London so I can go to the gym, work out, and come back fresh for New York. Water. So ES is trying to push up toward that 47.82 level where we're kind of interested. Get ready for that. Check in. You know how our buddy Tom Hugard is doing. Tom is awesome. Such a good guy. Great trader. Heart is in the right place. That's what's most important. Let's see. He is currently long. Let's see. Always root for you. It amazes me how people come into live chats, you know, live trading rooms or live chats, and trolls just start talking shit and trying to like hope that the guy trading loses. I mean, how gamma male can you be to do that? Like, we're here trying to make our own living, sharing it, with the public, and people come in and troll. Thankfully, I haven't had that yet on my channel, but at some point, I'm sure it'll come. It takes a lot to get out, and I mean, trading is hard enough as it is, but to do it publicly, it's a whole nother challenge, which is why I'm doing it, because I think it's fun. All right, we're 3:22 a.m. Eastern. London's a lot slower, but it's kind of nice. I don't mind it. I'm in the right time zone, which is fantastic. But I do need to get better sleep on the days that the snowplow is not clearing the road. Big snowstorm last night. So here is NQ again, just kind of waiting. I suppose I like out of NQ and ES, I do like ES as the better short. There's just a better level into that 47.82 resistance area. It's really just going to depend on how this 15-minute chart gets up there. I mean, what I'd love to see is basically 47.80, a little higher, 47.82. But if we could just get a nice 15-minute exhaust up there, that's where I'd like to short. I don't think we have any news coming out here at 3:30. Let's go ahead and check. I want to be caught off guard by something like Polish GDP. Funny enough, I think we actually have, or we had the Polish interest rate, if that is the Polish flag, I think so. Polish interest rate decision at 2:30 East. Funny. I was just making a joke about Polish GDP. All right. So we've got EU inflation. Wow. Okay. So that's coming out at 5 a.m. That's a big one. But the charts are down, so I'm not waiting for that announcement. Got U.S. retail sales at 30 New York. A lot of medium announcements. Lagarde is speaking at 10:15. Fed Beige Book at 2 p.m. Gonna be a big day. All right. Nothing crazy in the wake of news, except for that ECB inflation number coming out at 5. So that's important. All right. So just waiting for this to set up for a short up in here. Patiently waiting for gold and silver. Bonds would be fantastic if the ultra bonds could, yeah, this is up in here would be great. Here is the 30-year. Anywhere up here. The Russell. We shall see. The ES. Gonna get some more coffee, you guys. All right, guys, we are back. Go ahead and flip the webcam on here. Boom. All right, so just had to get some coffee, kind of relax. It is 3:45 a.m. Eastern. Still waiting. Just letting the market come to us. The ES here is trying to push back up into this resistance level, so see how that goes. Kind of waiting. 47.82 is kind of the level I'm curious about, so we'll keep an eye on that. NASDAQ, the level was 865. And you can see so far that held on that push there, but still not ready to do anything here at the NASDAQ. I want to see how it reacts. Go ahead and look at the bonds. Those were hopefully pushing. There you go. Oh yeah, there you can see that. That would be a great spot to get short the bonds there. If it could try to close up there, I will definitely short them. Yeah, oh, that would have been nice. So gold and silver now, yeah, trying to follow lower as bonds. So bonds kind of got that out of their system. Silver rolling over nicely now. Good. Copper, platinum. Look at the 30-year. Oh yeah, looking good. So probably gonna have to go short. Wanna wait and see where this closes. You know, we might get a close up in here for the ultra bonds. A lot of volume there now at about 15 in here. Kind of the area I'm interested in. Silver could be a good short breaking out here. That is what we're waiting for. The dollar's doing. Yeah. Dollar is getting nice and strong. Cool. See that? You see they all kind of fished up there. Bonds fished higher, the euro and the pound kind of tried to fish higher like that. Oh yeah, the pound has a lot of resistance there. I don't trade FX that often just because they're just so slow. Look at ESEN. We got about 12 minutes until 4 a.m. hourly check. Bonds are going to be a good one here. Silver as well looks quite weak. Ultra bond. The ultra bond is gonna be a fun one to trade. $30-year leading us down for now. I think the market's kind of awaiting the EU inflation numbers at 5 a.m. Looks like silver's probably on its way back down to these lows, 22.76 maybe. $10 until the hourly close. The neighbor shoveling some snow. Tommy's doing. Kind of a choppy session for Tommy. All the kids with their little sleds outside. Great to see. We're just staying patient here, guys. It's kind of like watching paint dry, but that's, in my opinion, that's what makes good, consistent trading over the long term. You got to be able to just sit and wait without driving yourself nuts. Super important. So for the 4 a.m. hourly close, is there anything I'm interested in? Just quickly, we'll start with the ES here. And looking at ES, don't really want to do anything in this general area. Obviously, extremely bearish overall, but we may get a little bit of a pop. Sometimes they like to take it the other way the hour before the news release, especially on a day like this when we're trending down. So I'm gonna not do anything right here on ES. Let's look at the NASDAQ. We did tag that 865 level I was talking about, basically up in here. Not good enough for me to want to get short. Down, not doing anything. Us dropping. Basically, let's see what we got for the 10-year. A lot of selling coming in here on bonds. The 30. I mean, you got a decent little pattern here to go short. Problem is, we're kind of still in support. This one was much better. Bummer to have missed that at basically the 2 a.m. check. I don't trade at that time, but maybe I'll start. Here's the Ultra Bond. I mean, certainly I'll keep an eye on this because if we were to get back up in here, I'd be interested for sure. This is copper. It's like platinum. Coffee. Crude. We get some great shorts in crude today, I think. All these longs realize they are effed. I mean, at this point, I don't think crude would rally even if the Houthis, God forbid, sank a ship. They could sink a U.S. destroyer and crude would still drop. How bad crude is at the moment. All right, so for the upcoming 4 a.m. check, I mean, the only one I'm remotely interested in is bonds here. The reason I'm not jumping all over the bonds like a cheap suit right here, this is just a different pattern here. Like, right, the one we had here was just beautiful. That's a great short. But now that you're punched up here, there's some critical elements of OMA that I see that just not the feel like I have to jump in here, although it might drop, but nothing is yelling at me that I need to be in. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I don't think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to escape this liquidity trap. Yeah, Bitcoin's got a nice daily resistance pattern, hourly. You know, certainly if we had a pop up in here, which I don't think we're going to get right now, but we'll wait. Look at Ethereum. Nice resistance pattern on Ethereum, but not. I'll wait. Yes, again. I think we're probably just going to have to wait until EU inflation at 5. What it looks like. I'm going to keep checking stuff, but I'll just be back and forth while I eat breakfast and do some things. The market kind of consolidating here. EU inflation expectations, those are going to be a big one, so glad we're going to be trading that together. Funny when people shovel their own driveway and they put snow on the sidewalk. What about the people walking on the sidewalk? Pound's looking pretty weak here. Swiss franc. CAD should be getting smoked from crude weakness. It certainly is. Let's look at the odd. Futures, you guys. Odd. Yep. So I think for the gonna wait for the European inflation to come out in about an hour, so that's what we will wait for. I will no trades right now, but I'll restart the stream in about an hour.